What's going on, and welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking about a coworker of mine. Now, let me just say this. This guy, he's a good dude, man. He's a good dude. I can't say he's not a bad person. You know, he's one of those guys that if you need something, all you gotta do is call him up and he'll be there, right? Like if I need work done here at the house, like yard work or whatever, I just gotta call him, and he'll show up and he'll do the work. He's part-time, right? So I'll tell him his name is Rini. I'm gonna have to say it. His name is Rini, and I'll just be like, he works, I think like 3.5 days out of the week, and then he's off. No. Yeah, he works 3.5 days out of the week, and then he's off a day. So he gets to pick what days he works and what half day he works and what day he wants to be off. And sometimes I have to do work here at the yard, I have to do work in my yard, not at the yard where I work, but work here in my yard. And I'll just call him up. I'm like, hey, Rini, I got the yard needs to be mowed or whatever. He's like, oh, I'll be there. I'll go on my day off. I'll get up in the morning. I'll go cut it for you. I'm like, okay, cool, dude. So I'm not making this video or these videos because everything I have to say, I can't do it in one video. There's no way, dude. We'd be here for over an hour. So this is going to be a series of videos, okay? And I'm not making this video to make fun of him. That's not my intentions. I'm making this video because I can't believe half of the shit that he does. And you won't either. By the time I get done with this story, you're going to be like, what the fuck? Is this for real? Is this real life? Yes, it is. What I'm about to tell you about this guy, it is. So, he's got 3 sisters. I don't know how many brothers he has, but he has 3 sisters, and this is important for the story. This is important. He's got one sister that lives right next to him. He's got another sister that lives out of town, and he's got his youngest sister. She's one of our secretaries at work. Okay, I've known this guy since I'm 47. He's 51. I've known him since I was 12 years old. We grew up in the same neighborhood. As a matter of fact, he still lives in the same neighborhood and the same house that he's always lived in by himself now. Sort of. We'll get to that eventually. Okay. So he just started working with us 2 years ago, and I remember, for whatever reason, they stuck him to work with me, right? So he's like my work partner, if you want to call it like that. So whenever I got to go do something, he has to go with me or whatever. And dude, I'm so happy. I'm so happy they stuck him with me because, dude, we wouldn't be sitting here right now talking about this. But it's like, when we're together, dude, it's like we're always laughing, we're joking around. It doesn't even feel like work when we're working together. It doesn't even feel like work, dude. We have a good time at work, whatever. But I remember when he first got his first paycheck. And I remember he's part-time, but he makes a good, and this is important for the story too, he makes a good chunk of change for working part-time. I'm not going to say how much he makes, but he showed me his check stub one day. I was like, God damn, they're paying you this much and you're part-time? Like, holy smokes, dude. So I remember he got his first paycheck, and he tells me, can you run me by the store so I can get something to drink? Because that day it was hot, right? He goes, and I'll get you something to drink also. I was like, okay. So we go to the convenience store. It's kind of like by where I work, and I get a 99-cent peace tea. And he's looking for a 20-ounce Coca-Cola, right? He's looking in the cooler, and I'm like, hey, what are you going to buy, dude? He's like, I'm trying to find a Coke, but they don't have any. So he kind of turns and he looks down like this, and there's an empty shelf right next to us. And at the bottom shelf, there's a case of Cokes, of 20-ounce Coca-Colas. And that's the case that they use to refill the coolers, but they hadn't done it that day yet. What the hell was that? Anyway, so I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna grab a. So he goes down to get one, right? Well, I think he's gonna get one because we have an ice machine at work. So he goes down and he grabs the whole case of these Cokes, and I'm like looking at him, and I ask him, I was like, "Are you're gonna buy that whole case of Cokes?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Dude, if you want, I can take you to Walmart, or I can take you to the dollar store. It'd probably be a whole lot cheaper than buying that case of Coke." So, because I told him, like, at Walmart, I think a case of Cokes is like probably like $12, reasonable price for 24 pack. He's like, "No, I'll just get this." I was like, "Okay." So he takes it to the front. He puts this case of 20-ounce Cokes on the counter, and the lady that's behind the cashier just happens to be the owner of the store. And she kind of like looks at it, and she's like, "What are you doing?" Right? She gives him that look, and she was like, "We don't sell these by the case." She goes, "This is what we use to fill up the cooler." He goes, he's got this dumb look on his face. He's like, "Oh, okay." She's like, if I were to sell you this, I'd have to charge you individual price for each Coke." He's like, "Okay." So she scans one times 24, and she was like, "It's gonna be $75." She goes, "Do you still want this?" And I'm like, holy shit. $75 for a case of Cokes. For a case of Coke. And I kind of look at him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll take it." She goes, Are you sure? He's like, "Yeah." Okay, so he hands her his debit card, and she charges him $75 for a case of Cokes. So we walk out of the store, and I'm like, "Really?" I was like, "Holy shit, dude. You just paid $75 for a case of Cokes." I was like, "I told you I could have taken you to Walmart. It would have only cost you like $12, dude." I know. I get it's gonna be a can of Coke, not like one of those plastic bottle Cokes, but still, it's only $12. "No, it's fine." Throws it in the back of the truck. We go back to the yard because he's gonna go keep it in the office, because in the office our secretaries have their own restroom, and in their restroom they have a little mini fridge. She's like, So he walks in. His sister doesn't see him. She's on her computer. He goes, "Hey, I'm gonna put this in the restroom. I'm gonna put a few Cokes in the cooler so I can have something to drink." She goes, "Okay." And then the next day, I guess eventually she ended up going to the restroom, and then the next day we happened to go into the office, and she's like looking at him, and she's like, "Is that the Cokes that you bought?" And he's like, "Yeah." She says, "Where did you buy that from?" He goes, "At the little store." She goes, "How much did you pay for that case of Cokes?" He's like, dude. When he's in trouble, he tries to lie, and you can blatantly see that he's trying to lie. He's like a little kid. He's like, and then she kind of like, she looks at me, and I'm like, I just make this face like, I was like, "Oh shit, man." And she looks back, she looks at him, she's like, "Rini, how much did you pay for that case of Cokes?" And he's like, $75? She's like, $75 for a fucking case of Cokes? What the fuck is wrong with you? I was like, oh shit. I'm kind of just sitting there. She's like, oh, why didn't you go to the store and get just a case of Cokes, like $12? He's like, I don't know. Then she looks at me and she's like, and you let him? Were you there? I was like, yeah. She's like, and you let him? I was like, no, I told him not to. I told him I would take him to the store, and I told him it'd be a lot cheaper than buying it from there. It's like, I told her, it's like, look, the lady at the convenience store told him that she'd have to sell this case individual, and he still wanted it. God damn, man, she was so pissed off. She goes, next time, you want to get drinks for work or whatever, you call me and you tell me, and I'll take you to Walmart, or I'll take you to the dollar store or something, and I'll take you to get drinks. She's like, don't ever do that again. Dude, she's younger than he is, and she's getting on his ass like he's a little kid. He's 51. He's like, oh, okay. So I was just like, holy shit. So, whatever, we leave. Now, some time passes. We get paid. No. I'm sorry, I'm doing this wrong. A week later or whatever. He's like, can you run me by the bank? I was like, yeah. I was like, I'll take you by the bank. He's like, what are you going to do? He's like, I'm going to go get a loan out. I was like, okay. So I take him to the bank. He gets a loan out. He comes out with like $200. A day later, he's like, can you give me a ride to the bank? I was like, why do you need a ride to the bank for, Rini? He's like, I need to go get another loan. I was like, dude, you just got $200 the other day. Are you telling me you don't have any money left? He's like, no, I spent it. I was like, what, dude? How the hell can you spend $200 in one day? Look, I can spend $200 in one day. I mean, just look behind me. But if I'm broke and that's the only $200 that I have, I'll make that shit last for like the next 2 weeks. So he got this $200 and then he just blew it all. And then here we go back to the bank again, and he's getting another loan. And then the following week, take me back to the bank. So I take him back to the bank, and he's taking more money out. I'm like, dude, what are you doing with your money, dude? Like, what the hell is going on here? So we get paid again, and he's like pissed off. I'm like, what are you mad about, dude? He's like, what's wrong with you? He's like, these fucking people, they're stealing my money. I was like, who's stealing your money? He's like, the bank. I was like, what do you mean the bank's stealing your money? He's like, yeah, they're taking my money. I was like, dude, I took you to the bank like 3 times last week, and you got loans out. They're gonna get their money back some way, somehow. They're drafting it out of your checking account, because when we get paid, we don't get like an actual check. That our paychecks go straight into our checking account. So he's like, give me a ride to the bank. I need to go talk to these people. I was like, okay. So I take him to the bank, and I'm sitting there in the truck, and I'm waiting for him. And he comes out, and he gets in the truck, and he sits there, and he's staring at this piece of paper that they gave him. And he's shaking his head. And I just kind of look at him, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? And he hands me the piece of paper, and I'm looking at it, and it shows how much money he has in his checking account. And it's negative $5. Now, we had just got paid the day before, and now he's got negative $5 in his checking account. I'm like, holy shit, Rini. He's like, where did your money go? I don't know, they're ripping me off. I was like, and I'm looking at his statement, and I'm like, what the hell? I told him, what the hell is Google YouTube? I don't know. Remember those words. He said, I don't know. I'm like, dude, we need to go to the office and you need to talk to your sister about this shit. I go, we just got paid yesterday and now you're negative $5 in your checking account. Something's going on. So we go back to the office and he's like, look at this shit. Gives it to his sister. She's like, what the hell's this? What's this negative $5? He's like, that's what's in my checking account. Holy shit. She freaking loses her goddamn mind. She's like, how the dude, she's mean. She's like, how the fuck do you have negative $5 in your checking account when we just got paid yesterday, Rini? He's like, I don't know. So she's looking at the statement. She's like, what's this and what's this and what's this and what's this? They're taking money out. She's like, I don't know. She's like, then she's like, what the fuck is Google YouTube? Because whatever it is, she goes, they took $100 out of your paycheck yesterday. I don't know what that is. She said, call the bank and put them on speakerphone. I want to hear everything you're getting charged for. So he calls the bank. And some girl gets on and she's like, oh, you're getting charged for this, this, and that. This, and this. And she goes, these are all mobile charges. So he goes, oh, okay. So he hangs up the phone. And she goes, what are you doing on your phone, really? Apparently, what he was doing was he had all these subscriptions. You know, like when you like say like you want to subscribe to something to watch movies or something, right? And they give you like 15-day free trial or a 5-day free trial, and if you want to, you can cancel before that trial is over. If not, they'll start charging you for like say $30 a month or whatever. Well, after the free trial, he'd just go get another one, and then he'd get another one, and then he'd get another one, and he'd forget about all these trials that he got. So now he's getting charged every month for all this shit. So we figured that part out, and she was like, cancel all of this shit right now because they're charging you every month. Oh, dude, my camera thing's fixing to die. I'm running out of space. Anyways, so okay, we left it at that, and then we went back to work. So we're out there working, and he's like, fuck, man. He's like, fuck, man. I was like, what? He's like, I don't need music on this phone. I was like, what happened to all your music? Oh, this is a new phone. Remember that. Remember what I just said. This is a new phone. This is for next week's story. Okay? So he's like, I gotta get some music. So he starts downloading music. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? He's like, I'm downloading some music. I was like, where are you downloading it from? Google, YouTube. I'm like, that's it. That's where your money's going, dude. They're charging you to download music. That's why last month, or this brother yesterday, they pulled out $100 from your paycheck because you're downloading all these songs and they're charging like maybe $1 something a piece or 99 cents a piece or whatever. That's what it is. No, it's not. This is what he tells me. This is what he fucking tells me. No, it's not. It's free. I was like, apparently it's not free, Rini. If you're downloading music and they're fucking taking it out of your paycheck, apparently it's not free. Oh. It's like, yeah, dude. Yeah. Dude. I'm gonna have to end this video right here because I'm really like going over my limit on my SD card, but this is gonna be a series. This is leading up to what's been bothering me. If you didn't watch last week's video or this past Friday's video, you'll know what I'm talking about. Dude, this is leading up to like what's been pissing me off about my buddy Rini here. And by the time, like I said, by the time I get done with this whole thing, you're gonna be in shock. You're gonna be like, what the fuck? Is this for real? Is this real life? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The story is that I'm telling you, this shit's for real. Like, this is real life. You're not gonna believe the irresponsibility of this guy. I don't believe it. And I see this shit every single day. So we're going to leave it at that. This series is going to be coming out every Sunday, which is pretty crazy because like I'm used to like filming like once a week. Now I'm going to be filming twice a week. It's starting to feel like a full-time job that I'm not getting paid for. But that's okay, man, because this is great, dude. Man, you're not going to believe, like, I'm telling you, man, right now, you're not going to believe the story that I'm going to be telling you because, dude, I can't even believe it. I can't. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.